you doing it?
You're listening to the Oracle Talk Radio Network.
Hello, I'm Sabrina Carpenter.
I'm Dasha.
Hey, I'm Billie Eilish.
What's up, guys? I'm Camila Cabello.
Hey, this is Tate McRae.
I love this station.
I love this station.
You're listening to Chasing Prophecy Radio, where we discuss anything and everything beyond the scope of normal. On the Oracle Talk Radio Network. Broadcasting live in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
If it's unexplainable, we're talking about it.
Whether you're a believer or a skeptic,
we cover everything where the unknown becomes the known.
And now, here are your hosts, Jenny Nicasio and Tom Callway.
Welcome to Chasing Prophecy on the Oracle Talk Radio Network, broadcasting from Pittsburgh and Philadelphia and all around the world. I'm your host, Jenny Nicasio, along with my fabulous co-host, Tom Callway.
Hello, everyone. Great to be on. Great to be back on. I feel like I've spent so much time away, but really I was just on last night with Beyond the Radar. And shout out to Haley, our intern. She did a wonderful job with the urban legends from around the United States.
Well, that's good to know. And we have a special co-host, SHAWN Kelly. Hello. And my former co-host from Chasing Prophecy years ago. It's so good to have you along for the ride tonight, SHAWN.
Thank you.
We have a great show planned for you tonight, guys. And I want to thank everybody here. And if you're in the chat, if you're not in the chat, you better get in the chat because we want to talk to you. Well, I just want to say, Tom, me and SHAWN go way back. He was on my the very first venture 4.5 years ago, and he was my fabulous co-host then. And it was just me and him, and then we brought on Jason and Petro, and then it was SHAWN and Michael, and then it was nobody. No, that was me and Tom. But we go way back. He's a great guy. He's a great host of his show. He has a lot of followers, and a lot of people really like him because he's down to earth and compassionate. So tonight, Tom and SHAWN, we have something close to SHAWN's heart. He loves talking about this topic, the flat earth. And we have a good host guest coming on. He should be is he in the studio yet? He told me he was signing on.
He's in the studio now. Love the name, Yer Old Pal Mike. That's a wonderful name. That helps us out, to remember. And that's wonderful. I'm really happy somebody took the time to be on our show, and look, all across the radio 24/7 all over the world, Oracle Talk Radio Network. So we'll be going live here with Mike in a minute or two, but if you don't mind, I'll read the little bio that we have.
Good for it. Go for it.
All right. So Yer Old Pal Mike was first introduced to the Flat Earth subject matter in 2017 and has been studying the subject ever since. He runs the Flat Earth Archive page on Facebook, which he started in 2018, that has a variety of videos, including experiments and observations demonstrating the absence of the globe model Earth's alleged curvature, errors within the modern heliocentric model, and examples of space agency fails and fraud. So we're all about observing fails and fraud. That's what we do here. We give a platform to everyone who wants to talk about it. And it's great discussion. Let's just have a good conversation about flat Earth theory and calling people out for their fails and frauds, because I think that's something we all agree on.
Definitely. And if you come on, sometimes StreamYard is a little slow to gather the people. So we're going to discuss, it's an open discussion. It's not like we're not going to be doing interviews so much anymore. We're going to do open discussions where all of us participate and just butt in. You don't have to raise your hand. Okay. You can just butt in.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's bring on your old pal Mike and get the conversation started. Mike, thank you so much and welcome to the Chasing Prophecy Radio Show.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Yeah,
Hey, Mike,
absolutely.
pleasure to meet you, man.
I'm so glad you made it. With there's fires. Where are you at?
I'm out by, I'm in Lake Elsinore. So there's this massive fire called the airport fire that's going on right now. So it's been pretty crazy. A lot of people getting evacuated,
Wow.
Ash covering everything. Looks kind of eerie, the sunlight, shining through all that smoke.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's crazy.
Scary. Very scary. Well, we're
Yeah,
glad you're okay.
Hopefully everybody in your community and you and your family, hopefully everybody, escapes all of that. I know it can be a terrible situation.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been interesting. Can you guys see me okay? It doesn't show me on the screen there. It's like a white box.
Yeah, I see you. I see you.
Yeah,
Okay.
We see you.
All right, cool. Yeah, it must just be.
Try to remove and bring you back on. Maybe that'll. I don't know if it helped you or not, but.
Nah, whatever though.
Weird.
I just want to make sure like I was visible.
Oh yeah.
Right. And you guys have
don't worry.
screen
If you were in like a frozen, compromised position or something, we would help you out and take you.
Yeah.
Are you? Nah. You
Go
frozen? You frozen?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's frozen. I think he's okay. Is
Yeah.
he frozen? He might be. I think he is frozen. Can you still hear us, Mike?
Yeah, I can hear you guys fine.
Yeah, your
Okay,
camera's frozen, but that's okay.
Yeah,
weird.
we can hear you.
Should I try logging back in real quick?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah,
you
we'll
want.
keep it going. We'll keep the fire.
Yeah. Let me sign out of here and see if I can jump back in because it was working fine before you guys loaded me in. I could see myself in the little intro screen. But let me pop out. I'll pop right back.
All
in.
right.
It's weird.
So yeah, before we get that technical stuff out of the way, flat Earth. I've seen this rise in popularity, right, on Facebook first, and then Instagram, TikTok, and that sort of thing. And there we go. We got you now.
Okay, but now we got you. Can I
Okay.
read something? Can I
Sure
read something?
can.
Okay. I Googled, is the world flat? Right? And according to Google, okay, Cindy Simpson, good to see you, hon. No, the world is not flat. The idea that the earth is flat is I don't know, archaic,
Archaic.
Yeah.
and scientifically disproven concept. Modern beliefs in a flat earth are not based on scientific knowledge and are considered a form of science denial by experts. The idea that the earth is flat was once held by many ancient cultures, including those in the ancient Near East. However, the scientific consensus is that the earth is roughly spherical. It has consensus based on multiple lines of evidence that have been confirmed over more than 2,000 years. Just had to put that out there, dude.
So that's where we'll start off, Mike. That's the official. Okay, Google said it, so that's the that's the gospel. So we'll start there. I mean, we've all learned in school about the flat Earth model and the geocentric and heliocentric and things like that. Let's start there. Where what have you learned in your pursuit of knowledge?
Well, I was never taught anything other than heliocentrism in public school. So that was the only model I was exposed to. I didn't come across this information until 2017. And it was the abundance of independent experimentation that really brought me around to realizing that the globe model Earth doesn't exist. Its curvature is absent. It can be proven to be absent just over and over, example after example. I did bring a presentation to share with you guys today. If I'm able to do a screen share.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let me see if here. So first I'm going to show a little clip of some comics because I would like scale. And so this is going to be from like heliocentric globe position. So this isn't from my position. This is is what globe people have to say. So let me share here.
Can you explain heliocentric to people who might not know what you're talking about?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, heliocentric is the model that we've all been taught in school, where the sun is at the center of the solar system and all the planets orbit around the sun. In the history, they always thought the sun was still, but in modern heliocentrism, they say that the sun's moving over 500,000 miles an hour around the galactic center of the Milky Way, basically. But all right, you guys see my screen there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's just hear, because I want you to hear the scale of how easily the Earth's curvature can be detected. So we're going to listen to a few sources here.
Horizon model is. And this blue stuff is this boat. Well, it's like a boat. Anyway. Why? The ships sail away. They don't disappear all at once. Now, first, the bottom will disappear. See, the bottom of the ship is gone. Now we can see midway up, and then the whole thing disappears. Now, ships came back. They didn't fall off the table. So people realize that the world is curved. I mean, it's a big curve, but it's curved. So, the process of testing claims, what we call science.
It's so clearly obvious that the world, we see when ships leave the harbour, you can see as they gradually disappear below the horizon.
One of the things you can see yourself with a pair of binoculars is if you go out to a lake and there are boats on that lake. The farther away a boat is, the more the bottom of the boat will disappear, and you'll basically just see the mast. As a boat goes farther and farther away, the last thing you will see is the very top of the mast of that boat. And that's because the boat is actually going over the that's curved. And that means that as it goes farther and farther away, you see less and less of the bottom of it and more of the top of that. You can see that with binoculars, by an ocean, by a lake. It's really easy. That wouldn't happen if the Earth were flat.
All right. So that gives you an idea right there as far as the scale of the Earth. And they're correct. If the globe model Earth is true, then just in a few miles, you should be able to see boats disappear over the curve. I want to give you some figures here real quick. In 3 miles, 6 feet of drop should be expected. In 7 miles, 32 feet of drop should be expected. In 10 miles, 66 feet of drop should be expected. 20 miles is 266 feet. 30 miles is 600 feet. 50 miles is over 1,600 feet of drop that should exist on the globe model Earth. Now, you might be wondering how I came up with those figures, and it's really simple. All you have to do is pull up an Earth curvature calculator, and it'll give us the rate of drop. You can even enter in the observer height, which will tell you how much of a target should be hidden from the observation height. A disclaimer I want to give is that there are a lot of channels out there dedicated to allegedly debunking flat Earth related content. They like to claim that these calculations aren't accurate for 2 primary reasons. The first is that they claim the calculation being used isn't accurate because the formula being used is for a parabola and not a sphere. What they won't tell you and choose to ignore is that a portion of a sphere is a parabola. The formula being used in these calculators is an accurate linear point A to point B calculation for anything at a distance of 1,000 miles or less. Beyond 1,000 miles, it loses its accuracy. But as we saw with the boat example, you don't need examples beyond 1,000 miles to demonstrate the globe model Earth's alleged curvature. So when they say it's not an accurate calculation and formula, they are telling a half-truth because it is an accurate formula up to 1,000 miles because a portion of a sphere is a parabola. Also, flat earthers didn't create the variety of Earth curvature calculators that can be searched for online. Why would non-flat earthers create calculators specifically designed for the sole purpose of calculating the globe model Earth's curvature and all use an incorrect formula? The answer is they didn't. because it is an accurate linear formula for up to 1,000 miles. So if someone tells you otherwise, they're either lying or ignorantly parroting incorrect information. The other excuse they use is that these calculations don't account for refraction. So they like to refer to specific calculators where you can add in a formula for refraction. But again, this is disingenuous to assume that a formula exists that can accurately portray weather conditions, which constantly vary day by day and even moment by moment. Using the raw calculation like I used for rate of drop is perfectly sufficient, and it isn't nearly as subjective as a formula for alleged refraction. So that's kind of the intro to give the scale so that we know what we're dealing with, because I have a variety of examples that should be able to prove to everybody that the globe model Earth's curvature doesn't exist. And at the very least, it will get you questioning. So let me pull up that part of it. Anyone have any questions or anything?
Yeah.
So go ahead, Sean. You go first.
Okay, I was in the United States Navy, all right? And I was out at sea for 3 years and 3 months, okay? And if you're telling me that the Earth is flat, I wouldn't be here today because I would have fell off. That's simple. I'm not knocking you.
I don't need to tell you. I can show
I
you.
I do respect what you're doing.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I do respect that. But I would not be here. And I'm not trying to make a joke out of it. And for all the flat Earth people that I have talked to on shows and stuff like that, I don't understand. Maybe you can prove to me why I'm still here and I didn't fall off the edge.
Gravity. I don't know. So you're saying I sometimes believe it's a sphere. It's not like a ball, but it's more like a sphere, because they said, okay, let's get back into some conspiracies. Going back to Hitler. Okay. Now he thought there was something over there in Antarctica, and they say that's where it cliffs off, if you believe in flat Earth. Am I correct or am I wrong? Is that what he says?
Everything froze.
There's like
I'm sorry, it froze. I couldn't hear what.
No. Okay. I go back to conspiracies, and I've did some research on the flat Earth, and because I was going to write a book on it, but don't laugh. Okay, so now the theory is, going back to Hitler, he believed that it was. I truly believe Hitler believed it was flat, and he thought that Antarctica, that's where the edge was. And there was something beyond Antarctica that they have that treaty and still that you can't go over there because there's something there that they're hiding. Now, is that true? I mean, does that lead up to the flat Earth theory that there's something in Antarctica? Am I on the right track? Am I not communicating?
Yeah, well, the Antarctic Treaty absolutely exists. It's been around since 1961. It prohibits all independent exploration south of the 60th parallel, and you can't go beyond that point independently. Of course, you can take guided tours to Antarctica, but when it was instituted, 12 nations took part in that. Now we're up to 55 nations, and it's really interesting with all the chaos in the world, the alleged fighting amongst countries that, what would seem like an unimportant chunk of ice on the bottom of the ball would have a treaty that's been lasting, over half a century at this point. It is very suspect, at the least. The Hitler side of it, I really don't know anything about.
You don't know about that. You should check it out. I'll send you a link for it because I did some research and it was very interesting. But it's like the ice wall, going back to the ice wall, there's something over there. Why would they tell us that the Earth is round? But what do you think about this theory with it being a sphere? Like it's not, it's like a sphere.
I think you're meaning oval, Jenny.
No, not oval. It's a sphere.
Because a sphere is round.
It's not. No, it's like a it's flat and it's like a sphere.
Like a cylinder.
cylinder, maybe.
That's it right
Okay.
there.
It's
Mike.
not. It's not
Yeah,
round.
no, I don't buy into that.
You don't
any of
buy
that.
that either, because now I kind of
No.
think that might be. I don't know.
No, well, so what I could show you, well, there's a couple things. I prepared a list of experiments and observations that can prove that the globe model Earth's curvature isn't there. There's a lot of whys that come with this subject matter, right? But what I was hoping really to do tonight is establish that the curvature doesn't exist, because there's a lot of, and I don't mind going into those. I'd love to dive into a lot of those whys and everything. But maybe, you know, if you give me an opportunity to kind of show you a series of examples that can show you that the curvature doesn't, it's not there. It simply just doesn't exist.
It's not curved. Okay, and when you say it's flat, are we talking like a piece of paper flat, like the Earth?
Yeah, let me show you some common maps. Okay, I was going to save this because I figured you guys would ask me about the seasons at some point, how the seasons work on flat Earth, and I was going to kind of share this graphic with that part. But let me pull it up real quick here. I don't know.
And if you have any questions in the chat, and if you want to call in, we have a call in too. And it's 724-374-4619.
All right, so I'm going to open this guy up here. I'm going to share screen again. So we're going to open this up just to give you an idea of a common flat Earth model and the ones that I lean towards. I would like to say that none of them, I don't adhere to a specific model at this point because I just feel like there's too many unknowns that you can't answer at this point. Are you guys seeing that?
Yeah, we see it down.
I don't.
Okay.
Here, I'll move it up. I'll move it up. There you go.
Okay.
Okay. Is it so it changes? Okay. So this would be a common modern rendition of it called the azimuthal equidistant projection. And it'll tell you in this description that, like it says, all points on the map are proportionally correct distances from the center point, and all points on the map are the correct azimuth from the center point. So this is well acknowledged as far as a map goes. What's interesting about this is the World Meteorological Organization uses this map. The International Maritime Organization uses this map. The World Health Organization uses this map, and also the UN flag uses this map. And if you want to go back even further than that, we can look at 1945. There's a war strategy map that uses that same layout. We can look all the way back to 1892, which is a map by Alexander Gleason, which he created in 1892 that has the identical layout. And then we can go all the way back to the 1500s. This is a map from 1587, long before NASA, long before this modern debate, showing the identical layout. So when I'm talking about these things, you know, those are generally what I'm talking about. What's beyond that is hard for me to say because, like we already referenced, the Antarctic Treaty prevents independent exploration beyond the 60th south parallel. So those are things that we really don't have access to. But as far as those maps you just saw, I mean, that's a whole variety of legit institutions going all the way back to the 1500s using the identical layout. The reason I was pull that up is because you can see how the sun confirms this map. I'm going to open this up real quick here and do share screen real quick, and I'll show you with examples from the sun. And this is how the seasons operate on a flat Earth model, because you might wonder how they operate. Well, this will give you the idea. So this shows you one of those maps. It's showing you the sun circumnavigate with the analemma illustrated
let me get it up there. There we go.
Oops. Let me go back to that one. Yeah, so that's the sun circumnavigating with the analemma on it. It's going to show you further in this video. You're going to see, it should cut right here. See, this is how the sun operates during the seasons. It starts in the center near the Tropic of Cancer, and it moves outwards towards the equator and then ultimately out to the Tropic of Capricorn. and then moves back in. And that's how you get more heat for the northern hemisphere in the summer and less heat during the winter. This little graphic, let me go right back to that guy. This little graphic shows you the sun also, to create that analemma. It changes in altitude. It's at its highest altitude around the Tropic of Cancer. And then you'll see it move all the way out and lower in altitude when it gets to the Tropic of Capricorn. And this is how the sun actually operates. This is time-lapse demonstrating that. So you can get a view from the Arctic and Antarctic, and you can see the sun arching and curving towards and away from the viewer. So this is time-lapse footage demonstrating that right here. On this next clip, you can actually see the position on the map as the sun is as the sun's moving, and it's showing you winter on the left and summer on the right from the same position when the sun is either further or closer. Same thing right here. You have some more time lapse just showing you the movement of the sun. This is from near the north. Yeah. So it's near the Arctic, and you can watch the sun raising and lowering. This is when it's at the Tropic of Cancer, so it's very, very close. So we can demonstrate that these maps are real and accurate just by looking at footage of the sun. And when you talked about circumnavigation, when you look at those maps, that's the same way circumnavigation operates. When you go east to west, it's circular because the compass is always facing the north. So as you're following that compass, and that compass is keeping a northbound heading, you're going circular, either east or west. That's why you can leave from one position and return all the way back around to where you came from. As far as falling off the earth, I don't know if that's possible. I tend to lean towards a biblical cosmology model wherein the firmament has us enclosed and there are waters above the firmament, just like the book of Genesis states. So the falling off the earth is more like a psyop to ridicule a flat earth perspective. Like when you see...
I'm not ridiculing you, dude. I'm just...
Well, gravity would keep you on, right?
Well, if there's no way to fall off, if it's blocked in, then you wouldn't,
So you're saying someone blocked it in that you can't fall off.
Yeah, you could be sailing for forever on the water, and you know what I mean? Unless you had a pinpoint, you wouldn't know exactly where you were at. But so Mike, what you were saying, and I appreciate what you're saying, is you're here to disprove the curvature, and what I like is you're not making up all of this other stuff about I know why it is. You're just saying I'm here to disprove the curvature, and everything you have showed so far has made sense. It's you have everything. You have a nice little tight package right there of everything, with models and things like that. So hats off to you for that research. One of the people in our chat just now, Mystic, this is Nicole. So she, what is your idea? Are the rest of the planets flat, or is it just ours?
Well, I don't believe in other planets. I believe that there are celestial bodies above us. I believe that the 8 objects that we refer to as planets are what the Book of Enoch refers to as the wandering stars. And then there are other celestial bodies that rotate around us as well up above. So I don't believe they're planets. As far as their shape, they're obviously spherical, or maybe not spherical, but they're very least appear to be round. But we don't have access to these things. I don't believe or trust the modern space agencies. I think there's more than enough to show that we didn't go to the moon, that I have videos on my Flat Earth Archive page of harnesses being used, CGI glitches, all the rest. I mean, just if anyone can think that they were live streaming video footage with 1960s technology from an orbiting body allegedly 250,000 miles away, you're just not thinking. If you think they landed on the moon first try with a computing system that had less power than the original Game Boy, you're not properly thinking about these things. So I don't. Yeah. So
it's like a pizza.
Yeah. As far as we can tell so far,
She's Italian, Mike.
Well, I'm just trying to get an idea. Like, it's like a pizza. It's like It's not like
Well, that's not too bad of an analogy if you think about it, where the crust would be the ice wall. You know
Yeah,
what I
the
mean?
edge
And then
there,
we're
yeah.
all toppings.
Yeah.
That's not a terrible like analogy.
Now, there are those who believe there are other lands further beyond the
I've
Antarctica.
seen some of those maps too. Yeah.
So again, it's unverifiable to me. So I just take it in, I learn about it, but I can't say whether that's true or not, obviously. So
why don't we play some of these videos so we can?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got a couple of videos here. We'll pick your brain on them.
Yeah. So I got a presentation that should lay out for you pretty clearly that the curvature does not exist. It should make it fairly concrete. So let me pull it up right here.
Sure.
1 second. All right. I'm going to open this guy. Share screen. There we go.
Thank you, Sebastian. Yeah.
Yeah. Sebastian says gravity could be a made-up phenomenon. Not sure.
How you doing, Sebastian? Good to see you,
Yeah.
buddy.
Hi, Sebastian.
Yes,
been a
Sebastian.
while,
Thank you
buddy.
for
It's
showing
been a
up.
while.
Thank you for being a part of Chasing Prophecy.
I have what I could say. Is it showing up now?
Yeah, we got to go
No.
down further because it's.
Did that screen?
Where'd it go? I don't see it. Disappeared.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Let me try that again. One more time here. Is it working now? See something that
loading
says
it
laser
now.
experiment?
There it goes.
There it is. I see it.
So I'm gonna go through a little bit of a lengthy list, but I'm gonna try to keep it pretty brief as I can. So this is one of the early examples, and all this stuff can be viewed in full on my Flat Earth Archive page on Facebook. But for the sake of brevity, we're obviously not going to watch through a whole load of experiments. So I'm just going to touch on them. This is one of the earliest experiments I saw. This was put out by a gentleman who took his snowmobile. He used GPS positioning. He acquired a high-power laser because he wanted to test these things for himself. He went out on a frozen lake to measure 7.5 miles with his laser, found the laser coming straight across at him, where in 37 feet of drop should have been present, which isn't possible on the globe. Maybe we went too far. There's also a 20 experiment conducted by a husband and wife, wherein they shine a laser, like I said, 21 miles over a body of water, wherein 284 feet of drop should exist on the globe model Earth, yet it wasn't there. This experiment's wonderful because it uses two lasers. You're going to see a little glimpse here. One is at a distance of 14 miles and the other is at a distance of 23 miles. And again, there's, I forgot the exact figures in there. That is massive amount of drop that should be present. And the crazy part is you can see both those lights on a level plane. So even if someone wanted to claim refraction is causing this, it's really not possible because you have two different sources from two different locations at two different distances that are still level. This right here is the greatest series of laser experiments ever conducted at this point. So basically, these experiments began in 2016, started releasing their findings in 2021. They conducted a variety of experiments locations under a variety of weather conditions, accounted for humidity and expected rates of refraction, and ultimately produced a $20,000 GPS guided laser system to test the Earth's convexity. There isn't a more comprehensive and detailed experiment in existence using high-powered lasers to test the convexity of the Earth's surface than this series of experiments put out by FE Corps. Nothing beats it up to this point. This is an early example, just using distance footage. This is Toronto from 31 miles away. And in 30 miles, 600 feet of drop should exist. Yet you can see every building of Toronto along that horizon line. not only that, when he pans out, you can see that the buildings, left to right aren't curving either. And there are tons of miles from left to right upon that horizon. And again, over 600 feet of drop should be present. This is 30 miles away, that footage. This is one of the early examples I saw. People have done this with Chicago, 40 miles away as well. We also have infrared footage. So this is going to show you a couple locations 70 miles away and 120 miles away. There should be 3,267 feet of drop in 70 miles. This is from Malibu, California, by the way. And there should be 9,600 feet of drop in 120 miles. It's all documented. This is some high altitude red footage. So you're going to see here, there's hundreds of miles in this footage right here. It'll start for me. There we go. There are hundreds of miles in view. Like 4 and 100 miles, 6,600 feet of drop should be present. 200 miles, 26,000 feet of drop should exist. In 500 miles, 166,000 feet of drop should be present, but everything in the background near the horizon is higher than the objects in the foreground, which is the opposite of what a sphere should be doing.
Oh, no.
And if all that isn't good enough, this high-altitude weather balloon footage, this is at 100. You guys can't see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we see it.
You guys see it?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, this is weather balloon footage at 100,000 feet. And the camera's not using a GoPro like wide angle lens. So there's no artificial curvature, because you can look up other weather balloon examples.
Yeah, there's no curvature.
So this is physically impossible on a spheroid. That's alleged to be less than 8,000 miles in diameter. The reality of a spherical surface is that the horizon should at an increasing rate and become more and more pronounced the further you go. Yet here we are with hundreds, if not over 1,000 miles in view, and yet the horizon in the background is higher than everything in the foreground, which would be expected if we were on a level plane, not a sphere. This view is mathematically impossible when compared to the dimensions and expected rate of drop required by the globe model Earth. And if people want non-visual examples, this is the Navy's railgun. Sorry. Oh, I was going to say, this is the Navy's railgun, which shoots a projectile using electromagnetic propulsion at 7 times the speed of sound in a linear fashion and can hit 100 nautical miles away, which should be impossible on the globe. This is an 830-mile world record radio wave transmission, 2023.
No, I'm
using
starting to really
frequencies
think this is
ranging
right.
from 860 to 930 megahertz.
Okay, let me just stop you right there. Why would they tell us it's round?
Yeah. So, let me dive into that. I'll close this up. But you can see what I'm saying, right? I have a couple more. We can leave off there if you want.
I can see what you're saying. I just don't understand. Which is the one? Who said that the Earth was flat? Who was that? Columbus? Which one was that? Come on. Who originally said the Earth was flat?
No, Columbus.
Which one was it?
Well,
they
honestly,
it wasn't.
Well, I'm not sure on the Columbus thing, but if you look throughout all like Babylonian cosmology, Mayan cosmology, Egyptian cosmology, almost all ancient cosmology is based on a cosmology where the Earth is stationary and the celestial bodies are moving above us. I know that it was read in the beginning that for allegedly 2,000 years, it's been proven that the Earth is a globe. But when they're saying that, they're being very dishonest, because they're literally citing two Greek mathematicians, one being Eratosthenes and one being Pythagoras. And those guys are a minority when it comes to the world perspective on cosmology.
I want to ask ChatGPT, who said the Earth was flat?
Yeah, Yeah, Tom. Who was it?
Chat GBT, always saving us.
Ancient civilizations, including early Mesopotamian, Egyptian,
right.
and Greek cultures. However, many ancient Greek philosophers and scholars, such as Pythagoras and Aristotle, argued for a spherical Earth as early as the 6th century BCE. In more modern times, a few figures like Samuel Rowbotham in the 19th century promoted the flat Earth theory through a pseudoscientific model called zetetic astronomy. His work inspired a small movement that persisted into the 20th century and even today through groups like the Flat Earth Society. Do you want to dive deeper into one of these historical figures?
Did Columbus say the Earth was flat?
No, Columbus did not say the Earth was flat. By the time
I like it, Scott.
the 18th
I like
century,
better in theory, man.
Europeans already knew the Earth was a sphere. The misconception.
I told you it was a sphere. I said it was a sphere. You guys said I didn't.
All right, relax now, Jen. It's all right. Relax. It's okay. So it's a spare. But, Mike, I'd like to get to you. Now, at the beginning, you said, and, I'm going to be the devil's advocate here. All right?
Yeah.
And just want you to know that I'm not knocking you, and I appreciate your stuff into this. Now, you said at the beginning that you go out 23 miles, right? So I decide to take my boat and go 23 miles, and there's no drop. Okay. Do I have to go another 23 miles to find a drop?
Well, the drop is essentially the calculation is 8 inches per mile squared is the rough calculation. So the rate of drop should be increasing exponentially every mile that you move. That's why the people in the beginning were saying just a few miles out you can see a boat disappear over the curve, and that's true because just a few miles you're losing 30, 70 feet of drop. So.
Sean.
What's that, Jen?
I kind of.
Well, if you believe it, that's cool. I'm not knocking anybody here, Jen. It's just
There's no curvature. It's flat.
I believe. Now, see me. I believe there's a curvature. Okay, and I will always believe it's a curvature. And what I like about you, Mike, is that you're not egotistical. And I'm being honest with you, because me and Jenny had another dude on, and we could not get a word in because he just kept talking, and he wouldn't let us ask a question. And I admire that about you. You don't have an ego, but and God bless you for studying all this stuff. But you'll never change my mind. There is a curvature on that.
I understand. But, observable reality, I just can't fight. I'm not of the perspective. I'm just after truth, basically.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't matter to me whether it's a sphere or it's flat. But the implications, once you do realize that it's a flat enclosed system, really points to the one who created everything. And for those people out there that do trust in the Bible, that do trust in the scriptures, that believe in the book of Genesis, the easiest way to know from the scriptures that heliocentrism is a false model is to look at when the stars were created. God says in the very beginning that he created the stars and other celestial bodies on the 4th day after he created the earth. And if you believe in modern heliocentrism, there's a major contradiction there because they claim that many celestial bodies were created far prior to the earth. So, and that's not even going into when Joshua said the sun, prayed for the sun to stand still.
You're listening to the Oracle.
A commercial there?
Oh, shit.
Wow.
What
I didn't do it.
Yeah. So.
There's goofy monsters
and I'm not even going to get into the Bible part of it because Jenny knows how I feel about the Bible. And so I have to take that with a grain of salt, what I write in the Bible. And I'm not going to go further. This isn't my show. So
let's play some of the videos that our intern brought. It goes to music.
Okay.
Possessed. Is it ghost in here, Tom?
I know. It's fun.
Yeah, cool. Yes.
Yeah.
Totally was haunted.
Haunted software.
Oh, I'm back in my old studio, Sean. Remember all the weird stuff that happened in here?
Yes, I do remember.
It's happening again. Go ahead and play some of those videos. Yes, it is haunted. I'll tell you a story before we leave. Which one do we want to do, Tom?
I'll go ahead and do the first one.
Okay.
Believe that this is the closest depiction of what the Earth actually looks like. As we all know, or should know, we live in an enclosed system. Therefore, there is an ice wall surrounding this entire planetary system, in which we are in the middle of this enclosed system. And outer space is not real the way they described it and showed y'all. Outer space is not actually above us and out of this planetary system. Outer space would be this outer layer that is outside of our ice wall here in the middle. Extraterrestrials or aliens do not come from above outer space. Extraterrestrials come from beyond the ice wall.
What do you feel about that?
Yeah, let's get reaction on that one.
That was kind of what I was talking about, where there are people within the movement that believe that there are lands beyond. Because if you looked at his image, that central circle would have been the equivalent of all those maps I showed you, you know, the one that the UN flag uses and everything. And some people do believe that there are expansive, like a massive expanse of land further beyond the walls of Antarctica. I'm not there yet personally. I side with I fall on the side of scripture when it talks about the sun's circuit, and it talks about how there's nowhere that its heat doesn't reach. So to me, that kind of nullifies, like, I think there could be some land past the 60th south parallel, but not to the extent that image showed. But I don't know. Okay, so I don't know.
It's fun to speculate about, and also, you know, I must have slipped my mind about this, but I heard you mention the Book of Enoch, and I got a clap for you because I do love that.
I do
and
too.
Anunnaki and Nibiru, and give me all of that Mesopotamia, you know, history, really, forbidden book of the Bible and all of that, because you know there have been a lot of cover-ups in the Bible, and what you know of the Bible now is not what was originally written. You know what I mean? Back in the day. So I will, you know, commend you on that, because you know, and again, what Sean said, you don't have an ego. You're not coming on here saying I know and you don't. So I do got to commend you on all of that, and you know, you are learned, and so I, you know, appreciate the time and everything you had with it. I would love to have you on again for the, because we could make a whole show on the Book of Enoch and what things have been
like that. I don't know nothing about
from there.
There's a lot of parts of the Bible they took out.
Yeah, there are. But what I said, you know, when you said, you know, you're not there yet on what's out there, I agree, because, you know, you got to walk before you can run, right? And the step that you're on, that you're doing, is the curvature. You know, you can get to the other points once, you know, that has come about. My question and what I'm thinking, and I'll give you my answer first before you, but you know, why is this taught? Why are we taught this way? You know what I mean? And there could be a bunch of different reasons, but for me, I think there's some sort of intelligent design in leading us away from truth. And enlightenment is truth. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. The further we stray from the truth, the more we don't know, and the more we don't know, the more outside factors can appeal or harm us.
Why?
I just think that could be why.
Why are they hiding it from us?
What?
Why don't they want us to know the truth about something as simple as that?
Well, when you get away from learning the truth and what's actually out there, you keep people confused. And when you keep people in a state of confusion, you don't have people communicating and you know, getting our power up. You know what I mean? Being enlightened by talking to everybody. So when you have that, and you don't even know the simple thing of, is the earth round or flat, and you have people disagreeing with each other, you're not even getting out of the starting gate before you can get enlightened at all.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, let's go on to the next one. The earth is spinning.
All right,
Flat Earth
go ahead.
spinning.
I got you. Oh, sorry.
Actually, the best argument I've ever seen for flat Earth. I'm serious. And I say this as someone, I studied physics for 2 years, and I have an engineering degree. I'm genuinely impressed by this argument. I don't know why it stuck out to me so much. I never give a fucking shit about flat Earth, but like,
Oh my!
it's kind of beautiful. Like, I don't know.
I didn't. Wow.
I didn't really understand that one too well, I guess.
No.
I didn't understand what the point was.
The point was the Earth seems round to people because it's spinning top over.
Oh, yeah. No, I believe it's stationary. You know, there's no movement. When you guys talk about gravity, you know, what holds everything down? It's because of electromagnetic forces. When you look at the ground, that's why they call it grounding, because there's basically a negative zero charge. The higher you raise into the atmosphere, it increases in voltage. And when you look at matter, all matter has either a positive, negative, or neutral charge to it. So when we're talking about things like density and buoyancy and what determines up and down, well, the determination of up and down is essentially the electromagnetic pole that is drawn on us. And we see these effects even on things like bumblebees. Bumblebees are aerodynamically, it's impossible for them to fly.
Yeah,
but it's actually a vibration that they make within their larynx that gives them the ability to essentially create almost like an electromagnetic bubble that allows them to essentially hover. So when we're talking about so when we're talking about gravity, they need gravity to work with the ball. They need an explanation for how something is spinning 1,000 miles an hour at its equator, going almost over 60,000 miles an hour around the sun, following a sun that's going 500,000 miles an hour. So they need this invisible force that's drawing everything towards the center of these objects of mass. But when you actually study these things, the negative GMM over R squared, which is the formula, it's not consistent when you go down to a biological level or you go way up to a celestial level. It doesn't work. So what really moves everything around is the electromagnetic nature of the world we live in. So gravity is just, it's a fairy tale for adults. It works great on paper. It works great in theoretical physics, but when you compare it to observable reality, it's just nonsensical. So,
yeah. And, you know, real quick before I get to the next video, that's what a lot of people think in my travels of UFO research is, their anti-gravity technology is essentially just a bubble, and you know they can move wherever they want inside that bubble and not have to create thrust, or how we generally see it as getting out of gravity. So I have heard that, especially with USOs, we can't build anything half as good as that can move through the water the way you see some of these videos and things like that. It just moves the water around, and they're in like a little pocket. So I just, you know, I have heard of that one too. But this one is called a firmament, Jenny, okay?
Firmament.
Incredible scientific explanation for the firmament. The ozone layer is comprised of O3. O3 freezes into a solid at 420 degrees below Fahrenheit. The temperature of outer space is negative 450 degrees Fahrenheit, making it colder than the freezing point of oxygen. Therefore, it's highly possible that that oxygen is freezing up there into a glass-like substance. When oxygen freezes, it turns a light blue. Making sense yet? Now, if oxygen is freezing at the top layer that touches space, right below that, it would be liquid oxygen, which would, of course, explain the waters above. So how would solid and liquid oxygen stay all the way up there? Well, as soon as it got warm, it'd turn into a gas, and then it'd just float up there. And then it'd get cold again, and turn into water and ice. Here's where it gets really interesting. A lot of people will tell you that the rainbow is shaped like a bow because each individual water drop is circular. That's an absolute BS lie. The water provides a screen. The rainbow is always there. We just can't see it all the time. When the rainfall happens, then we see the rainbow, so the rainbow is always a bow. And why? Because the light that is emitted from the prism reflects the shape of the prism, because we live under a convex dome prism. Now, if you subscribe to the idea that the ice wall is all around the outside edges of the Earth, again, it would explain it connecting to the frozen firmament. When we get to the edge, we get to the coldest place. And why is it so cold? Well, people need to understand what energy, temperature, and time actually is.
So that firmament, or that silhouette, that little, looks like there used to be a movie called The Dome.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's around. Maybe that's what we're seeing, and it's not really that. It's like the Earth is flat, and there's just that dome-ish look to it.
Yeah.
That could be it.
I think that's what a little bit what you're talking about, and that could be another answer to the what's on the other side of the ice wall. You know, some have claimed, we saw the video that said that there's other lands out there. Well, to protect the secret, it could just be a simple meeting point of where the ice wall and the curvature is. And if that is it, that's reason enough to protect and not let anybody get there, because then there's the secret. It's blown. You know what I mean? Because why is this connecting down into that?
I think you should go on an expedition to the Antarctica.
That's probably
let's start a GoFundMe for me to go to Antarctica and see what the hell happened.
I tell you what, Tom, if I hit the lottery, dude, I will pay your way. You know, working with the other place I'm with, I mean, that guy who owns that station's becoming very good friends with Elon Musk. So maybe he would kind of pay for.
Why don't we write a letter to Leon?
Yeah, ask Elon about it, man. He might do something about it. But here's the deal:
the Antarctic, it's cold.
But,
back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. But so maybe you haven't changed my mind yet. It's still circular. But when I was in the Navy, I went around and hit all the 7 seas. Okay. And I did not see an ice wall. Did not.
Well, anyone can Google Antarctic ice wall, and the reality is, you would agree that Antarctica is primarily ice, correct?
Yeah.
Well, did you know it's
but
also?
You can go, but you know that submarines go up into the Antarctic, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
And they break the ice when they come up.
Yeah, but here's my point: is that we know that it's ice. But did you also know that it has the highest overall elevation of every continent on Earth? So theoretically, if it were the barrier holding the oceans in, like the edge of a bathtub for that matter, it makes perfect sense. It has higher elevation than every other continent on Earth. So it literally is ice, and it's literally taller than every other continent. So if we don't want to call it an ice wall, that's fine, but it's clearly a very tall chunk of ice in the south. So at the very least.
At the very least, we can say an ice shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the
All right,
wall.
let's get to this last video here.
Proofs Earth is not a spinning ball by Eric Dubé. 1. The horizon always appears perfectly flat 360 degrees around the observer, regardless of altitude. All amateur balloon, rocket, plane, and drone footage show a completely flat horizon over 20+ miles high. Only NASA and other government space agencies show curvature in their fake CGI photos and videos. 2. The horizon always rises to the eye level of the observer as altitude is gained, so you never have to look down to see it. If Earth were in fact a globe, no matter how large, as you ascended, the horizon would stay fixed, and the observer or camera would have to tilt, looking down further and further to see it. 3. The natural physics of water is to find and maintain its level. If Earth were a giant sphere, tilted, wobbling, and hurtling through infinite space, then truly flat, consistently level surfaces would not exist here. But since Earth is in fact an extended flat plane, this fundamental physical property of fluids, finding and remaining level, is consistent with experience and common sense.
Yeah, I agree with all that. Everything that was said there. You know, you would have to see. That's the biggest killer right there, the easiest one to see. I grew up by the beach, and I can be standing on a hill in Dana Point where I live, and I can see trees and houses in front of me that are at a higher elevation than the ocean, but still they're lower from my perspective than the horizon. And that's the exact opposite of what should be happening on a sphere. The horizon should be continually dropping away from you. It should be impossible that houses and trees that are up on hills higher than the ocean are still lower than the horizon line way off in the distance. So I agree with everything that was said in that video. That was Eric Dubé, by the way. I've heard some of his stuff.
Oh, wow.
Well, it was great having you on the show tonight. I kind of think it's a I do.
Say it, Jen.
Go ahead and say it, Jenny. You're allowed to. It's all right.
I'm a flat.
See, truth wins.
Yeah. Mikey. No, Mike, you brought some very good points, and I'm very, very happy with all of the evidence you brought and to back up and to have a discussion with us for the last hour, man. Thank you again, and we'll return an invite for Enoch. All right.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Or if you ever want to
tell everybody where you're at, and all of that, where they can find you.
Yeah, the best place to find my content would be on the Flat Earth Archive page on Facebook. But I also have stuff on Rumble, which is under Flat Earth Archive, and also on BitChute, which is under various vids, I believe. And yeah, it's been a pleasure to be on with you guys, and I really appreciate your inviting spirit here today and just hearing me out. And also a good one, if you ever want to cover it and have me on, I can do a good little setup on space agency fraud. So feel free to have a breakdown on that sometime
that
too.
That would be great, man.
Yeah. Seriously.
All right.
We'll see you later.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. Thank you. Have a blessed night.
Mike.
Thank you.
That was good. I like that.
It was good. I'm glad.
It was good. I enjoyed what he had to say about guys.
Oh, come on, Sean. You know you're a flat earther. You're just pretending.
No, I'm not, man.
No, but Sean's sticking to his guns, and they had a good discussion. Both came with good points, and no, I like that guy. I've been wary of flat earthers. You know what I mean? They seem very stick to it, but no, he came, he had a discussion, and he had good points.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking that. Yeah, he did. He had a lot of good points on that.
I'm a flat earther.
Well, glad you are, Jen.
Sorry, I don't think round ball.
So you're a flat earther,
and I believe that they're extraterrestrials in Antarctica, and they're not letting us see them because they know, because they don't want to tell us anything. They don't want to share that with us.
Well,
right,
it would make sense because space is cold. They would need a cold place here.
They also come from under the waters too.
Yes, they do.
Oh, I know that for a fact.
Yeah. So, I mean, Jenny, even though you're a flat earther now, I'm not going to judge you on that, and we're not going to become friends no more. All right. You're still my friend, and I believe it, and I respect it, and that's it. I'm just telling you that I am sticking to my guns.
I'm trying to figure out which one of those guys, which historian person from history said that the Earth was flat.
Who was the other dude that sailed? There was Columbus, and there was somebody else. Galileo?
Which one said it? One of them said it, and he proved that the Earth wasn't flat. Somebody said it was flat. Columbus proved that it wasn't flat. I forget. It's another story, another time.
You have Da Vinci, you have Galileo, and you have Kepler, and you have...
One of them said it was flat.
Yeah. There was a whole bunch in that early time, that 16th, 17th century, that were thinking about it. But no, every basis of human origin intersects with religion. And in those religions had, you know what I mean? From a strictly historical point of view, I'm not talking about text or anything like that, in that intersection. They had that the Earth was the center.
Why am
for whatever reason, we've moved away.
Why did I freeze?
You didn't freeze. You're right here.
You're freeze. You didn't freeze at all.
I froze on my side.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the computer's telling you that you're not a flat Earth person. That you are just
it's going to
normal.
haunt you even more.
I know, man.
Can't get this on.
But, hey guys, I want to thank you for letting me come on the show
Oh,
tonight.
thank you, Sean. Thank you for coming
Yeah, I
on.
really
And
appreciate it.
tell everyone here your show.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
We're on the radio.
I'm on Sunday nights and Tuesday nights, 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. on UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. And if you want to catch one of my shows, just friend me on Facebook, Sean Kelly, or you can friend Pittsburgh Paranormal Society Facebook page.
They're a good
And
follow.
thank you. And if you want to watch one of my shows, it goes up before the show starts, and just click on the link and you can come to my show. I talk about everything and anything. It doesn't. I have two shows. My Sunday night show is a relaxation show, so who knows what I'm going to talk about. But Tuesday night shows are more into ghosts, paranormal, ETs, aliens, cryptids, whatever, comes down the pike. But I'm glad you brought up the Book of Enoch, because I'm going to have to read that, because I would love to do a show on Enoch.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And go from there.
And
I've seen that some of my people came over here to watch your show. And
I know. Well, Sebastian used to watch us, but he's kind of shy. Calvin,
every now and then.
Cindy.
Cindy. Yeah. Yeah, we're here. We didn't go anywhere.
You guys put a good show on, man. I was impressed.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Always a fan of your show. We talked about some good stuff when we were on.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And that's one thing about me in general, is that I am down to earth, and I do respect, like I respected Mike there and how he does his flat earth stuff. I respect that from people, and, I always had this saying, I will respect what you believe. Just please respect what I believe.
He would always say that.
Hey, Michael Anthony.
Hi, Michael.
Good to see you, buddy. Thank you.
One thing I want to say before I leave, we talked about this office studio, and I forgot to tell both of you this, and I truly believe that this house is on something. It's just too weird.
You're on the
You are in a weird area.
Well, I'm actually near the battlefield of Bushy Run, but this room used to be an exercise room, okay, and I converted it into my studio. But I used to have ellipticals and treadmills in here, and I was doing the elliptical, and I had a little TV over here, and there was I'm not kidding you, to this day, I am not making this up. I had Lysol. I don't know why. It was sitting on the ground. And it was cement. It used to have a carpet, and then we got a flood, and we took the carpet out. And there's a bottle of, pretend this is the Listerine. Oh, not Listerine. Where did that come from? I don't know.
What do you need that working out for? God.
I did buy Listerine. But anyways, it's on the cement. Okay. It's and all of a sudden, I'm not kidding you. I am not bullshitting you. I flipped out. I ran out of the room. Here, this is the ground. It went like this, and slow, not fast. It went.
He's right. Ley lines.
What the hell was that?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. So what do you think that was? You think it was the Indian land or what? Literally went.
You're in a very brutal area.
Yes,
it wasn't fast. It was slow. It went like this.
But that takes that's even stronger, because that takes more energy to do that slowly than a quick, and knock it over.
What the hell was that? And this is the same room, and I am not kidding you. Things go weird in this room. If it's
so,
not
why did you move back into that room?
Because my son, who's a gamer, he's in his 30s, like Tom, he plays video games, and he wanted to bring his video. He brought his office in here, and it doesn't have any windows, and he wanted sunshine. So he, because we bought a house together. So he took his office out of here, brought it upstairs, took his game room down into my old room where I do artwork too. But I like it in here because it's nice. I made it really nice. I have new plank. I have cool walls.
Nice, yeah.
I made it like
it looks like the guys from Stay Off My Lawn. It looks really nice in there.
But it's haunted.
It's haunted.
It's haunted. There's something in this house, I swear.
Download GhostTube on your phone and see if you can pick up any words.
I'm scared.
Don't even do that. No.
Set up a camera for when you're not down there then.
Oh God, Sean knows about my weird stuff in the house, but I'm telling you, when we first moved in this house, my father built it back in 96. We didn't have any furniture before we have to leave. I know we're going over, but before there was any furniture,
Sean's not after us anymore.
Okay, yeah, we're not going to get kicked out. You're over time now, Sean. I'm going to get in trouble.
I know you'd be getting text right now.
I know I'd be getting a text right now.
Yeah.
My father built this house. There was nothing.
Jenny, look at that. Our resident seer.
Oh,
she's
great.
sending a mail there.
Well, we know who's in your house there, Jenny.
Well, we do, but when we first moved in, before any furniture was in here, I'm in what would be my son's room when they were like 5 and 8, I think it was, or 6. Oh, who knows how old they were. We're laying on the ground with blankets because we didn't have beds yet. And in the doorway frame, I see a little boy. He didn't have a shirt on, real dark complected, and he's in the door frame. And I thought it was my son. I go, Johnny, go back here, go back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, somebody moved next to me, and I went, oh fuck, my son's here. Who the hell's that? I will never forget that as long as I live. It's like, who the heck was that little boy in the doorway? Unless my son astro projected. I don't think he did that at 4 years old. I don't think he did that.
No, my son did it at 6.
Oh, maybe he did then, but it freaked me out. So
if they did, it was probably
Mystic Whispers. Nicole, who do you think? Who's the male figure? Is he younger? Like is he like old, or is he in his mid 40s? You see anything out there?
So I came around to believing Nicole on certain on these type of things because like in Ass, I put her to the test when she would say she claimed all this, and man, the thing she would get right about remote viewing and where I was, and then I started trying, okay, let me try like murder cases and things she didn't even know about, and she would be picking up on all of those things. So she has converted me to the believing side of remote viewing and
I like to try that.
Good job, Mystic. Good job.
Mystic, there is a younger there is 2 male figures in my life who are no longer here. So there's 2, but one's not real young. He's like he passed when he was 40, 44. My dad died when he was 79. So there are 2 male figures in my life that could be in here.
That would be older and younger. That's a generation.
Yes, they could be here. And this part of the house used to be my father's business. He had office construction.
The younger, would they like to play a trick on you if they could? Maybe that's where the bottle was slowly tipping because they wanted you to see it.
Yeah, because he was dead at that point. Yeah, it was just so slow that it was like there's no way in hell.
Yeah.
That it fell on its own because it would have just, slammed down. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Joe. Yeah, so I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff out this way. Chestnut Ridge.
Oh, my God, yeah. I'm going to do a show on Chestnut Ridge.
That'll be another thing. Let me just spend a night out in one of those woods in Chestnut Ridge, and I'll live stream it.
Go ahead. Come on down. You'll be scared.
I will.
A lot of cryptics down here that'll come after you at night.
And don't forget.
I'm gonna tell you another real quick, and then we'll let you go. I used to camp outside in the yard with my boys and my nephews, and we'd pitch a tent, have a bonfire, and we're all inside the tent. We left the fire on, while we were in the tent.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we saw, I'm not kidding you, somebody is standing in front of the fire. We were
Oh,
so
that's
freaking scared. You just saw a silhouette, but there was something standing there. And I swear, why does that always happen to me? And I have little kids with me.
Did you get up? Did you go look?
No, we were too scared to open up the tents. No.
Oh, you gotta love her, man. Gotta love her.
There's the Thunderbirds out here too. They fly around.
Yes, there are. I have a friend that lives out in the Plum area.
Yeah,
and
Thunderbird.
she sees them all the time.
Pretty
Sees them
scary.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been late cases of it, not within the past year of
I don't
sightings
know.
out there.
I keep going back to Point Pleasant with
Well, yeah.
Oh, you know my story on Mothman. That's a
What is-
government. That's a government cover up there.
It could be.
I
Could be.
believe that.
Well, Sean, I don't know if you have Netflix, but the latest season of Unsolved Mysteries have updated reports of Mothman being sighted in Chicago, outside of Chicago, in 2018.
I read about that. I did read. About
It's very good. It's very good.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. I'm looking forward to doing that show. 2 shows, Enoch and Chestnut Ridge. I'm going to do that.
You should try to get Stan Gordon on, but you have to have. He has to have a phone. He can't. He doesn't know how to get on. It's hard.
Well, he can call in that call-in number, and then he'd be on.
Yeah, but then he can't hear you because unless I use my speakers.
No.
Oh yeah, the Google. Yeah, that's right.
With that, yeah.
It'll come through.
I can set that up for Sean too if he wants to.
Yeah.
Figure that out.
Yeah, that would be pretty. Yeah, Tom, I got to talk to you because there's a lot of questions I have to ask you. Not about what we talked about a long time ago, but I want to expand my show, and I just need help. And
I'm here to help. You know that, Sean. Anything for you, man.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Is Mystic the one from California?
Yes, that's Nicole from California. Were you on the what's it called? The Eclipse special? She was on that.
No.
I don't remember back in the day if you were on that or not.
It seems like forever.
That does seem like forever ago.
Yeah,
it was,
seems like forever.
The end of April. Time flies.
Hey,
Days
Jenny,
are long,
real
years
quick.
are short.
Jenny, tell Tom what happened whenever we were on that other thing and there was an EVP taken.
When we did
on our show,
John, when John Ventry was on.
No, we were with our very first that girl that you didn't like. We were doing a show and what I forget her name was, but they actually caught an EVP when me and you were having a show.
Wasn't John Ventry on there that day?
I don't know if he was or not, but Tom.
The one that told you that you were going to hell?
Yes.
It did. Well, how'd that happen?
We were just doing a show.
That was an EVP, or did a guest say that to you?
No, it was
it
EVP.
was an EVP. There was a
that's
woman
awful.
who I can't remember what she was on the show for. Was she a psychic or something? We had call-ins. We had someone calling in.
Oh, did you guys
You
do
know
a
who
reading
it
or
was?
whatever?
You know who it was? Your friend. She's a psychic lady. She was on our show a couple times. Carol Obley.
Carol Obley, yeah.
Yeah.
Then we had call-ins. People would call in.
Yeah. And it
this
said,
woman
Sean,
called.
you're going to hell, buddy.
He said,
honest to God.
what were you talking about? You didn't believe in something?
I'm lucky I remember what happened yesterday.
We have I still have it. I still have that. We'll have to play it sometime.
We got to clip that up. Play
Yeah,
that.
well, I'll have to figure out which one we caught it because I think I have it on Spotify.
Oh, my man, there's Squatch Man.
Squatch.
Hey, brother.
Hey, Squatch Man, when are you coming on?
There's
He
my
was
boy,
supposed to be
Scott.
on, and he was in there was a car accident. Yeah, it said.
Well, let's get Squatch in October. Have some Halloween back-to-backs with cryptids. How about we do that?
We should.
can do that.
And the EVP said, "You're going to hell."
It's what it sounded like, Tom. Honest to God.
Oh,
Yes.
And we got some really. We had Exorcist on.
We had
I had
some real.
rosary beads.
Yeah. Hey, check this out.
Mystic
Now,
is training to be an exorcist.
you know what? This is my outfits when I go on my shows. So we had a priest on who was an exorcist priest. And I
Mhm.
got in a suit jacket and tie, and everyone just freaked
Yeah.
out. because
Yeah,
I
he
was
got
in-
he got dressed up. That was
I
funny.
got dressed up.
Meanwhile, I'm all in black lace and he's all dressed up.
Yeah, it was like, and it freaked people out. And somebody asked me, well, why did you dress like that? And I said, well, he's a priest, Go show
Yeah,
some
he
Hey,
was.
you want to
He
look
was.
nice? No, I hear that.
It was a good show. I'll have to play that. It was a good show. We had him on before anybody did. He was on Fox News and I got him really fast.
Tony Sabellas. He's a
Hey,
friend of
see,
mine.
there's all these guys. See, why are they're coming in because just you're on, Sean. Look at that. Our fan base. Your fan base is coming on. You guys have to come on.
Tony's a good
Oracle Talk
person.
Radio
You
Network.
know what? Tony, honest to God, Tom, get Tony on your show. He's from Texas.
Yeah,
He's a good friend of mine. He's
did
a
I have him
paranormal
on?
investigator.
Wasn't he on Chasing Prophecy before? I think he
I'm
was.
not sure
We'll have
if
to
he
bring him
was.
on.
Sorry to hear about that, Squatch. No, I'm sorry to hear about that. It's a shame, but
Sorry,
we'll
Squatch.
get it. We'll get it connected. We'll get it connected, and you'll be on.
But seriously, write that dude's Tony's name down, Anthony Sabellas.
Yeah,
And
write that down.
because he talks about the forest down in San Antonio, I do believe, and it's interesting. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I've watched
Squatch
your
has been-
show with him on. I've watched.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're
All
just.
right. I wrote him down.
Yeah,
Anthony, you can always hit us up too. But I wrote your name down. We'll get it connected too.
Yeah, and if anybody out there, tell them about our network. So maybe somebody wants to start a podcast.
So we're, listen, Jenny and I are now the owners and founders of the Oracle Talk Radio Network. Variety, politics, paranormal, and music. So tune into our station when there's not a show being played. You'll hear the best in music. We have curated lists. You want country? We got country. You want pop? We got pop. You want hip hop? You want rock? Whatever you want, there's a playlist for you. And we have some of the best shows on the internet coming over here. Obviously, the home of Chasing Prophecy, Beyond the Radar. Mystic Whispers podcast is a wonderful show. The Nerd Informer, a very good podcast as well on our Wednesday lineup. All kicked off by 6 o'clock by the Frightening Floyds, which is a horror fiction podcast. If you are a horror fiction author or like reading anything scary, that's the place for you. We have a wide range of shows. And if you have a show and you want to bring yourself on, by all means, come on. We'll take you on. We'll take you in. We'll talk about some cool stuff and, get your message out to the people. We're on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Odyssey, as well as podcasting on all of your major podcast platforms and SoundCloud as well, not to mention streaming Twitch, Rumble, Kick, Facebook, YouTube, you name it.
God bless you.
There's no excuse not to watch us. We're everywhere.
God bless you, brother.
Oh, just wanted
Thank
to
you,
see
Sean.
that. And this is for Cindy. I don't know if she's still out there, but I found it.
Oh no, not the ball. Did you set the ball?
We'll
Is
say
that your-
one. We have my crystal ball. So we have one answer. Okay, you guys, you go first, Sean.
Oh God, that's been a long time.
Ask a question.
Okay, am I going to get married?
Oh, I'm
I was
sorry.
doubtful. No, honey, no. That's funny.
Tom,
That's funny.
ask a question.
Will Trump become president?
What'd he say?
It's a strong possibility.
Oh, Mystic wants to know, will I win the lottery?
Yeah.
Will Mystic win the lottery? Aw, I'm sorry. Will I get married?
It's not moving.
Oh, too bad. Well, one more thing before we go.
It broke.
I had my mine. When my mother passed away, I had this in the kitchen, and it went off, and it kept on going off all night. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was so scary. But anyways, I brought this on for Cindy, and she's not there. Can you win the lottery? Can Joe win the lottery? I gotta turn it back on.
The second time.
Joe, did you win the lottery? Maybe I'll have to call you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's single. I do believe.
My Alexa goes off itself sometimes, I swear. Oh no, this is so cute, but we used to play it all the time. Right?
Yes, we did.
It has been determined so.
Yes.
No, so you're going to win it again.
Yeah, I'm going to play it. Keep it with me now. So we'll play it. Anyways, okay, guys.
All right, guys, I got to get going.
All right. Well,
Yes,
thank you, Sean, for joining us. I really appreciate it. It was good having
thank you for having
on
me.
again all the
Yes.
time.
It's good having you guys.
Our
too.
pleasure.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
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 Okie dokie pokey. Okay. That was a good show, Tom. It was fun.
That was fun. I like that. Very good discussion. And we didn't look, it's been an hour and 25 and it didn't feel that way. So
No, it didn't. It didn't. It was a good show. Yeah. Okie dokie. Well, we'll see you next week. Who did you say we have on the show
next week we have Joanne Fawcett on, whose husband was in the military, and she is an expert on cross branch military projects alongside UFOs. And she's an experiencer as well, so she'll spread her knowledge about some of the programs that are going on between us and alien civilization.
Good, cool. And I am on Wednesday nights, Wednesday mornings, 11 a.m. for In the Know, and I do a morning podcast at 10:30.
It's very good, everyone.
Good morning, Jesus. It's my journey through journaling and gratitude journal. And it's a cool show, and I love it. Okay, we'll say goodbye to you all.
Everyone, stay safe. We'll see you next week.